out today and take a walk around our little Pflugerville Lake here in Pflugerville, Texas. It's been years since I did this, so it's a little windy today. Nice and cloudy. Temperature's great. It's about 80 degrees right now. So we'll take a walk around the lake, tell you a little bit about it, and show you what it looks like here in a few minutes. We built for water supplies for the city of Pflugerville, and they actually have the ability to pump the water from the Colorado River, which is about 20 miles south, during dry seasons if they're not getting enough rain to fill the reservoir here at Pflugerville Lake. But it's a fairly unique type of lake, used a lot for recreation. There's a very nice beach on the other side, which we'll walk by a little later. And you can do some fishing in here as well. I don't know if you'll catch anything or not, but you have the ability to fish. Sculpture before, so let's take a look at it. Looks like rocks. I don't know if it's fake rocks or real rocks. Looks like real rocks. No rock climbing, it says. So the rock dog name is Pebble. Guess that makes sense. Some of the wildlife here. I think these are tame ducks or geese. Probably ducks. Look like ducks. It's like they're relaxing under the tree here, getting their midday nap in, I suppose. Actually quite a few birds around the lake here. Uses an earthen dam, a lot of rocks, maybe some concrete over by the overflow gateway, Lake Pflugerville here. So, and there's a lot of housing subdivisions near the lake here too. In fact, my granddaughters Nani and Gigi live very close to Pflugerville Lake here. Pflugerville hike and bike system, well over 20 miles if you go the whole system. But this walk around Pflugerville Lake is probably about maybe a 2 mile, something like that. But you can easily connect from here to the main trails, and you only have to go through really one busy street that has a crosswalk, pedestrian crosswalk on it, so it's not too hard to get between the trails. This is the only part of Pflugerville Lake that I hate. I don't have a fear of heights, I have a fear of falling. I love flying in little airplanes, but walking across this walkway over the dam spillway just kind of, I don't like it, to be honest with you. I think it's better than it used to. I think it used to have a graded walkway. Now it's concrete, so that's a little better, but yeah, I'm not going to fall off here. Got some folks fishing out there in the water. Hope they catch something. I'm sure they're having fun even if they don't. Recently expanded the parking area here at Pflugerville Lake, so got a lot more parking area over here by the picnic area and the beach area. There's other parking also at the other side of the lake, but they did a nice job on the parking area here. Notice at the far end of the lake now, close to where I parked, there's a lot of new apartment buildings being built over there, which is very convenient to the lake. A few folks fishing today here at the lake, hoping to catch a big bass or something. A little playground, picnic area, of course restrooms. They even have a boat ramp, which is pretty nice. You can rent kayaks and paddleboard. North and the northwest side of the lake, there's a couple of subdivisions that a lot of houses and several schools within those subdivisions. So it's a convenient location. If you live close, it's easy to go walk the trail around Pflugerville Lake. little piers that jut into the lake. Have a nice set of birdhouses here that looks like there's actually some birds using it. Not sure what the housing prices are now in this area, but having looked in this area about 6-7 years ago before we bought our last house, I suspect the houses right along the lake here are in at least the $400,000 to $600,000 range. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, but it's kind of a prime location if you want to live close to the lake. It's a pretty nice housing area. We're coming up on one of the prongs of that horseshoe. There's kind of two of them that jut into the housing areas, and makes it really nice, especially if you live in this area. It's extremely convenient to go out the back gate or front door, and you're within 3 minutes of the biking, hiking, walking trail around the lake. The lake is definitely full because of the recent rains. Don't have to worry about flood control because it has a spillway, so it just overflows through the spillway if it rains too much. But you can tell by looking at the water that it's right at the level it should be. There's some nice grassland area and a lot of places for some wildlife to hang out, especially birds, rabbits. Pflugerville has a lot of trees intentionally, and they do keep a lot of the grasslands as open as they can, even with the development they have. So there are a lot of trees in Pflugerville. Mostly the gigantic trees that you see are old pecan trees that are jutting up above the others. Sometimes they're cottonwood trees. They tend to grow pretty tall. But we have some nice trees around here. Well, guess who we found on the trail? I don't know what his name is, but trying to peek out of his shell. Fairly old tortoise there, hanging out in his turtle shell. Some of the houses on this side of the lake. I'm fairly certain you could calculate at least $500,000 for one of those houses, which is very close to the hike and bike trail here. Nice houses on this side. Well, there's nice houses throughout these neighborhoods. They're really nice neighborhoods, and houses here, especially mockingbirds and other birds in the area while we're walking. Tell by the shiny forehead here that the sun is peeking through the clouds now. So I'm sweating my little butt off, standing here in the shade for a second. But there is a little breeze now and then, so that makes it feel really good. But it is a nice walk around Pflugerville Lake here, I have to admit. A lot of wildlife, birds and turtles and things that you'll see out here, sometimes rabbits. Yes, that's a mockingbird singing all kinds of different songs. Of Pflugerville while we're walking. We got to the Austin area in 1989 from Crete, Greece of all places. But the first time we saw Pflugerville back around 1989, I think there might have been one stoplight in the town. And I think the population was probably well below 20,000. Nowadays the population is 70,000 plus. Samsung plant nearby, another Samsung plant a little further, Tesla plant not far away, close to the international airport, a lot of retail development, all kinds of things have changed in Pflugerville. The good thing is it kind of still keeps its small town atmosphere and characteristics. They continue to build, but so far they're building relatively smartly, so kind of keep it in a small town feel. And very international neighborhood because of a lot of high-tech jobs and things around. Even in our little neighborhood called the Edgewaters, it's a totally international community. We have at least 5, 10 or more different cultural groups that live there. And so if you like a place where there's a lot of diversity and multicultural things and quality of life as far as the lake and hike and bike trail and things, this might be a place for you to think about. Pflugerville, Texas, adjacent to Austin. Well, we're on the, I guess, the southwestern prong of Lake Pflugerville, and it's going to take us to right along Pflugerville Parkway, where we'll hang a left to go back to the parking area across the lake toward the apartment buildings over there. And the sun has been out for a while now, so it is starting to heat up. I'm sure it's above the low 80s right now. So I'm hanging in there. Beginning of crepe myrtle season. That's those beautiful pink, sometimes red, sometimes white trees that you see around the neighborhoods. Start coming out about this time this year, and they'll bloom probably through at least June, maybe July. Traffic noise side, but give you a view of the lake from this end. Coming up on the end of the prong here to head back left along Pflugerville Parkway. Getting a little shadier again, so that's good with the cloud cover, cooling me off a little bit. Beautiful lake. South side of the lake now. Walking back toward the car. A little closer to Pflugerville Parkway so you can hear some traffic noise. But still a beautiful day. I don't know if it's going to rain later. Kind of hope it does. It rained early this morning. Got some good rain, but here in Central Texas, you want to take the rain when you can get it, because in June, July, it may not show up. The walking trail around the lake is right at 2.75 miles, so that's a darn good little walk. I should do this more often. And if you come out early in the morning or early evening or on the weekends, there'll be a lot more people walking around on the trail here. It's a lot of them live in the neighborhoods. A lot of people drive over here just to enjoy walking around the lake. Take care.